There is Jimmy Butler. The Jimmy Butler saga took yet another unexpected turn yesterday. League sources telling our Adrian Wojnarowski that the Rockets have included 4 future first-round picks in their latest trade offer for the disgruntled star. And oh, by the way, I just happen to have Woj standing by. Wonderful to have you here. Let's go. Tell us what's going on here. What is the very latest on the possibility Butler winds up in Houston?
Well, Houston and Miami, remember, they're the 2 teams who can't sign Jimmy Butler in free agency this summer. They've got to trade for him. And Houston's at a point now where they look at this roster, they look at what they're facing in the West. They know that if they want to compete for a title, if they want to get past Golden State, if they want to get past Utah in the playoffs, they're going to have to improve. And Daryl Morey, their general manager, is always big game hunting, and they want to try to get a championship with this hardened Chris Paul core. They think Jimmy Butler, closes the gap on that. 4 first-round picks. Now, the key to any deal will be what players would they agree on potentially to be in the deal? Because Tom Thibodeau is far less interested in draft picks than he is in what players can I get back that will help me win in Minnesota in the short term.
Because he may not be there to coach the players that they draft in the long run. And how about protection, things like that? Because if the Rockets fall off, would those be protected picks? What do we know about the specifics of the offer?
Because the picks can't roll over beyond, remember, you can only give a pick every other year.
Right.
You can't give up picks in consecutive years. The protections would be pretty limited in any deal they would do if there's 4 of them.
Which sounds like a lot to me. I mean, you get 4 first-round picks for a guy who doesn't want to be there. It doesn't sound bad. Jalen, here's the question of the day. If you put Jimmy Butler on that Houston roster, do they have a real shot to take down Golden State?
They do have a real shot, and they struggle right now defensively. In 3 of their games, the opponent scored over 30 points. Anthony Davis, Mirotic, and Donovan Mitchell. And when you think about that, up front, Jimmy Butler be able to shore that up. It balances out their team, puts Carmelo Anthony legitimately as a substitute. But one of the guys that we didn't bring up, if I'm Minnesota, I'll take the first-round picks, maybe 3, maybe 4, but y'all got to give me Eric Gordon because I play in the West as well, and I want to cripple you guys some. I don't want to see you guys not only go on to beat the Golden State Warriors, but have a team going forward, especially if KD leads the West.
It's hard to imagine a scenario where Minnesota would do this trade without including Eric Gordon in it.
But how much of a difference does that make? If you get rid of Eric Gordon, I'm saying if you're Houston now, you're making this deal, you're loading up to try and win a championship short term. You're not giving up a key piece of your own roster to do it. Yes or no?
You got to give up something to get something.
I get it.
And also, you got to think about it like this. Last year in the playoffs, Chris Paul got injured. Right now, James Harden is injured. You need that other guy that can hold down the fort in case those situations happen throughout the regular season. He's still in his prime. Harden's still in his prime. It makes sense for Houston going
If
forward.
I'm Daryl Morey, I'm doing this for one reason only, to win a championship in the next year or 2. I'm not taking any critical pieces off my team to do it. I think it removes the value of making the deal in the first place. Does that make, you understand what I'm saying? Does it make sense?
Absolutely, and that's why they're pursuing him. The other team to watch in this, who may yet get involved again, Philadelphia, because I think they're seeing right now that team, like Houston, they're not as good as they were last year. And is there a big free agent for Philly to get this summer? They may get involved in this again.
All right, Woj with us all morning long here with the very latest. This deal could happen pretty much at any point.